Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Schneider. Welcome to the Song Club.
I knew it was a bad idea to meet you here, my dear.
Yeah. Here we are at Song Club 78. If you're watching this on YouTube, you saw me entranced by the workings of the machine here in the studio. Which, by the way, looks like we're in some ship in outer space in the future. By the way, we are. In case you're wondering where we are. Like, hey, where are you? Like, if somebody's like, hey, you're on the phone with somebody and they're like, yo, man. And that's the way most people talk when you're on the phone with them. Yo, man, where you at? And then you just go, oh, I'm on a futuristic spaceship in outer space in the future. And they're like, what? What's going on? Did you get abducted by aliens? You're like, no, dude, I'm on the Earth. And then they're like, what? And you're like, Earth, biatch. And then they're like, oh, I get it. We're all on Earth, on a spaceship in outer space in the future. And then they go, oh, shit, I think Drake's calling me. I got to go. And then they hang up. And then you're like, what happened? And then you're lonely. And, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, who that happens to. It's a hypothetical that may or may not happen to some folks every once in a while, but who or why or when or why, all those details are unimportant, really. What's important is that we're here. We're in the Song Club, number 78. It sounds very bicentennial-ish, sounds very patriotic, and it is. No podcast is more patriotic than the Song Club. And we just celebrated Labor Day, which I guess is for the ladies who have babies. So yeah, so shout out to all the ladies having babies. Happy Labor Day. And then I guess the ladies who have cesareans, I guess they're still in labor. It's fine. They're good to go. On the radio. I'm cold getting paid because Rick said so. Just quoting my man, LL Cool J. It's for the old OG rap aficionados. How weird is it that when you first heard LL Cool J's music, you were a young person and it was like new and you're like, oh, let me look at this. And you're probably looking at a CD back in those days. And it's a picture of LL Cool J in a tracksuit with a fucking real panther. Maybe it's a stuffed panther. Probably it might have been a stuffed panther. But this is like like you couldn't do shit in Photoshop back then. So if you're going to take a picture next to a panther, it either was a real panther or a stuffed panther. And there wasn't much you could do outside of that in Photoshop. Now, I mean, there's nothing you can't do. I got so many pictures of me next to panthers. It's ridiculous. Have I ever been within breathing distance of a panther in my life? No. I mean, I've seen them maybe at the zoo, but even then, I mean, I'm like far enough away that you could like measure how long it takes light to go from wherever the panther is to where I'm at now. I wouldn't like make an appointment in that amount of time. I wouldn't say like I'll see you there in the amount of time it takes for light to get from the panther to my delicious protein rich body, because it's not a very long, like you'll be late if you make your appointment like, all right, what time do you want to meet up for lunch tomorrow? In the amount of time it takes for light to go from that panther over there to me. Okay, see you now. All right, I'll see you now. Here we are. Song Club 70, and I want to thank all my Patreon people. If you're a Patreon member, you're a hero, you're patriotic. That's really what Patreon stands for. patriot, a real U.S., a lover of the United States of America, freedom. You stand for freedom. What else? All the American shit. The dream that Americans are in. Such a beautiful dream. Not for everybody. For some people, the dream is a nightmare, I guess. But they're not Patreons. They're not listening to this podcast. So we're going to ignore them for podcast purposes. I got to ignore them. I mean, do I spend a lot of time giving to the people who can't listen to podcasts in my spare time? I'm not going to say if I do or I don't. I'll let you decide. I'll let you make up whatever story you want to make up. It can't be any worse than what it actually is. So, anyways, I want to thank my Patreons, my patriotic Patreon friends. Thank you for your support. And, it's not a straight charity deal. You're getting you're getting a lot of value here in the Song Club, which a lot of Patreon, you're not getting anything. Let's face it. You're getting a video of somebody doing something. Jesus Christ, dude. How many videos are there? I mean, sure, it's nice to get a nice video every once in a while from somebody. I mean, have I been watching Mr. Beast nonstop? Yeah, and if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, you're over the age of 15, I guess. But check out Mr. Beast. It's a never-ending, wondrous, good time. So, yeah, you got Mr. Beast, but then you got everybody else. Everybody else is, what are you going to watch, a music video? I don't think so. I'm going back to music videos. I'm going back to music videos. I don't think so. No, you're going to watch somebody carving out a fucking tree. You're going to see somebody put a tree on a turning thing, and you're going to watch them whittle that down until it's nice and round and beautiful, and then they're going to put some shit on it, some oil or something. You're going to be like, damn, how much time has elapsed? Oh, I'm about to die. Oh, how much time has elapsed? Oh, I'm an old man now. I should have maybe connected more with people and watched less Whitland videos on YouTube. Really? Yeah, probably. I don't know those Whitland videos, though. Oh, boy. Look at how lovely the day is with the birds chirping in the distance. It's so beautiful. It's so nice to be here with you in this futuristic rocket ship in outer space, hurtling towards infinity. Should we get into the songs? Should we quit dilly-dallying? I mean, I'm asking the question. I'll have to answer it because you're in the future somewhere listening to this. And even if you answer, which you probably are, you're kind of probably answering. You're probably saying, yeah, let's get to the fucking songs, boy. Or maybe you're like, oh, no, I want to hear more nonsense. Give me more of the nonsense. You might be saying that too. I don't know. I'll have to answer all the questions. And, oh, ding, 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 ding. I just did all the computations. 82% say, let's get to the songs. 18% say more nonsense. By the way, that's the exact ratio of how much money ACL Live at the Moody Theater takes when you play there. They take 82% of the door. Then they take 100% of all the alcohol. And also any ticket charges. They take all that. And then they give you 18%, which is cool. That's pretty cool. In case you're ever wondering, like, I wonder how much this venue takes. Do they even take any money, or does the artist get all the money? I mean, they take a reasonable amount. They take 82%. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's generous. I think in the olden days, in the days of slavery, they took 100%. So they've come quite a ways from those days. So good job, folks. Don't worry though, I'll cut all this stuff out later because we don't want those guys upset. Which, I mean, I'm sure they like to listen to the song club. I'm sure they're interested in the arts. Uh-oh, just got to my boating destination. Let me walk the boat to the shore. Oh, look, a jellyfish. Oh, look, a sea urchin. Let me avoid stepping on that. Oh, I got boots on. Don't give a fuck. Crunch, crunch. Bye-bye, sea urchin. Oh, there's the sirens of the sea. Trying to lull me into their depths. There to forevermore be encased in Davy Jones' locker. But I'm saying, no, sirens. I will not listen to thy sweet refrains. I will continue on towards talking about the music. Yeah. All right, so let's get going. This is an interesting song club because they're all new songs. Now, is one song done 3 different ways? Can't say, but maybe. Am I counting that as 3 songs? Yeah. Because I almost think like 8 songs a month is too much. I was talking to another songwriter and they're like, what? We're on the phone. They're like, so let me get this straight. Every month, you give your song club members 8 unreleased tracks? Like, are you covering Whistling in the Wind? Are you doing covers? They're not originals. Of course they're not original songs. Nobody can do that. And I'm like, no, they're all original and released tracks. My Patreon people are getting an entire record, granted EP, every month. Yeah, but Drake don't even do that. I mean, yeah, I know. What are you saying? I'm better than Drake? And I mean, the guy's like, yeah. I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn. But I wasn't tooting it. The guy I was talking to on the phone was like, yeah, I guess you're better than Drake now. And I was like, I mean, can't argue with logic. I mean, I like to be humble, but I can't argue with logic. You can't have a battle with science and expect to win. Eventually, you're going to lose when you battle science. And I know some people are like, science schmience. And I get it. That's something a little baby would say, like a little 3-year-old might say, oh, science schmience. I want Pez. And then you give them Pez and they're like, well, your teeth are going to fall out if you keep eating only Pez and your brain won't work. And they're like, I want Pez though. And they're like, all right, here you go. If you're not a good parent. But if you're a good parent, you give them like, occasionally you give them a root vegetable or something. Piece of meat. Some fallen fellow living thing that succumbed to the might of the almighty Homo sapien. Which is what we is, by the way. Just some murdering motherfuckers. By the way, I was talking to another friend of mine about what it is to be a human, and I said, it's about 2 things. Procreation and murdering motherfuckers. And he was like, here. He agreed with me. He thought about it for a second, and he was like, wait, is it? And then he was like, oh shit, it is. Now, the murder's metaphorical. Don't get me wrong. If you're murdering people and it ain't metaphorically, you got to go to jail for that. Unless you're in the army or the police. But if you're just willy-nilly murdering people, you're going to go to jail. But you can do it metaphorically all day long. And your boy, Bishnas Nasnos, he do it on the reg, son. Dude, I'm murdering motherfuckers on the regular. I love the smell of napalm in the morning, boy. That metaphorical napalm. We about to murder some motherfuckers metaphorically. Now, I don't do it on the podcast. I do that shit off mic, son. You don't want to do that on mic, because then somebody will hear it and they're like, "Oh, that dude's murdering me metaphorically," and you're like, and then they're like, you know, they'll get all hurt. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just want to murder them metaphorically. Quick murder. Anyways, enough of that, because a lot of people are like, "Wait, hold on, buddy." A lot of people can't get behind that because it doesn't sound right. It sounds kind of made up. But then if you really get down into the weeds of it, if they taught it in school, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, of course I learned that in 3rd grade." And what the world is. If they had that class called What the World Is, textbook by B. then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I read that book. It was short. It was like 3 pages. And 2 of the pages were like just like an index and a blank page, and then just 1 page about what the world is." But I read it in book in 3rd grade, so it's true. But they don't teach that class anymore. They used to teach it back in the old days before books. But now they don't teach it. I don't know why. I don't know a lot of things about the world that we live in. I mean, when I say that, I mean, that's a lie. Of course, I know everything that there is to know. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know some things. Like, there's some technical shit that some dudes got together in a room. They're like, "This is the technical shit." And only the technical people like us know what this stuff is. So we're going to be in this club called the Technical Shit Club. Now, I don't know that shit because you got to learn a bunch of shit. Got to go to school for it. And I'm like, nah, B, that ain't the way this thanks daddy play. I want to learn from experience. I don't want to learn from like a bunch of dudes making up some shit that may or may not be true. I mean, it's true, I'm sure, but it's like, it takes like advanced math. I'm like, dude, if it ain't arithmetic, if it ain't adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying, I'm out. The last thing I remember learning was something like called matrices, if that's even what it was. And I was like, nope. Ain't gonna ever need it. Guess what? I've never had to use in my life matrices. I did have to do some adding and some subtracting and maybe a little bit of multiplying and occasionally a little dividing. But that's it. All the rest, that's for the tech club, boy. Your boy don't play that game. All right. Let's start with my newest song. I just wrote it this week. It's called We Always Got Never. That was also the song phrase in the song game this week as well. And the reason I wrote this song, or the way I came up with the phrase, was I was out of town and I was texting a friend of mine. And he's getting up there. He's 80. And I don't see him very often. He lives in another town. And I was going to be in his town, so I was like, oh, maybe we can get together for lunch or something. So I texted him, I'm like, hey. And of course, I wait till the last minute. Like, literally the night before I get there. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to be in your town tomorrow. Got a couple hours to kill. You want to get together for lunch? And he's like, I can't. It's too late. Because he already had plans. Some stuff. Turns out. And I was just going to text back, oh, all right, no problem. You know, he's like, oh, let's get together later in the year when I'm in Austin. I'm like, perfect. And so I was going to text him, that sounds great. And, you know, if that doesn't work out, we've always got never, which I thought was funny. But I didn't send the message. I was like, all right, sounds great. I left out the joke. But I was like, that'd make a pretty cool song. Anyways, so I wrote a song called We've Always Got Never. It turned out pretty damn good. Let's listen to it.
Well, I could picture you in China by the Golden Gate, or somewhere in Moscow, involved in some debate. I could see you in Japan, oh, with flowers in your hair. We're down in Jamaica. Yeah, I can see you there. You don't have to hire head.
Oh, some background
Healing
vocals.
up score. You could just put one foot in front of the other and walk right out the door. We've always got never, oh, whenever, forever doesn't work no more. Yeah, I can see you in Las Vegas with its secrets and its lies, rolling down the boulevard, wearing some new disguise. I've looked to the horizon, I've seen you out there in the blue, with the sun in your hair, and the sky falling down on you. You've broken every promise you've ever.
There it is. We've always got never. Really pretty damn good song, if I don't say so myself. And I do say so myself. And some people are like, well, is that okay to just tell people that you've got a great song? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's fine. You can do that. Anyways, that one turned out good. You get it. If you're part of the Patreon Song Club, you can download that song today, I think. Or wait, is it today or tomorrow? Anyways, I don't know. But it's, what year is it? It's 2023. And the month is the great month of September. And unless you're in the future, you could be in October or November or maybe a different year. Probably not a year before 23 unless we've perfected time travel. But how cool would that be if you were time traveling back to kill Hitler, and on the way you were listening to the Song Club from the year 2023, just to kind of keep you, just to kind of, I don't know, just to keep things in check, because we keep it real here. That would be pretty interesting. Anyways, yeah, send me an email or write in the comments if you're time traveling and you've gone back in time to kill Hitler. All right, let's listen to another one. Sort of, this next song's called Alimony. Now, I did 3 different versions of it. There's sort of a reggae version. Then there's sort of a salsa. I call it the agua fresca version. And then a gospel version. And they're all completely kind of different. And they're all fun. And they're all kind of cool. So depending on what kind of mood you're in, they all kind of work. And normally, I would just pick one and make that available. But I liked all 3 of them so much. I was like, oh no, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys take them, listen to them, and figure out which ones you like. And I have a feeling you'll do what I do, which is like, oh, I like all 3 of these. And I'll probably listen to them at different times. Like if I'm sitting around the pool, enjoying sort of a refreshing iced beverage, I'll probably listen to the reggae version. Now, if let's say I'm in a nightclub and I'm about to pop a motherfucker because I'm in there as a spy for the KGB or MI6 or, dare I say, the FBI. I'm about to pop a bitch. I'm about to cap a motherfucker with a silencer. Yeah, then I probably want to listen to that agua fresca version. That sort of salsa thing, That'd be on ding, 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 ding in the background while I'm like taking motherfuckers out. And then if I was like, I don't know, in jail, I guess, making friends I didn't ever want to make, but now I got to make them because I'm in jail. Maybe then I'd want to listen to that gospel version and then maybe play it not too loud and not too soft, just the right volume. In jail, you got to make sure that volume's on point, boy. So, yeah, I'd probably listen to that gospel version. Anyways, but there's other occasions And you might have different times that you want to listen to the different ones. So let's listen to the sort of reggae version. Now, you as you're listening to this, you might be saying, like I did when I wrote it, which is like, oh, is this Don't Worry, Be Happy? And the answer is yes. It is Don't Worry, Be Happy with different lyrics. 100%. Now, is Bobby McFerrin coming after me? I mean, I hope so. There's nothing I would like more than for Bobby McFerrin to know who I was and to say, hey, man, you copied my song and we're about to go to court. Because I believe that me and him would become real good friends. Because I feel like if anybody knows what's up, it's Bobby McFerrin. But I don't know. Because you never know. There's some people that walk through life and they suck it all up like a vacuum, and then as they're sucking it up, they just are able to, like, you know, discern the trash from the real diamonds. And I feel like he might be able to do that. I don't know. I could be wrong too. Some people got weird filters, and those filters get rid of the diamonds and suck up the trash. Anyways, that sounds like a Bobby McFerrin song right there. All right, let's listen to this first one, Alimony. Again, don't worry. Don't worry. It ain't that song. It's my song. All right, here we go. All right, already, there you go. Already we're having a good time, boy. I mean, I'll take a mojito.
The doctor had a wife who made him sugar crazy. His wife had a lover in the U.S. Navy. They lived in Rancho Gondo, but things got samey, so they got a little blamey in the end. Whoa. Pointing their fingers in the other's direction, they brought in a judge to do the inspection. She said that the problem was the doctor's erection. Whoa. And the judge just said, okay, give us some of that alimony.
Oh, yeah.
Alimony, 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 alimony. It'll leave you broken, lonely. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, alimony. Yeah. All right, so that's that version, which is, I mean, that's as good as anything. All right, so now let's look at the sort of the salsa. Is it salsa? I call it the agua fresca. Let's check it out and see if we like this. Again, this would be like more like a nightclub. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. About to put a cap in the bitch.
Well, they loved each other when they first bumped heads. Set off the fire alarm when they took off their cats. Buried the ghost of their past in their beds, and they found a love that would last. They put a ring on each other's fingers, but love like rainbow, it never lingers. The next thing you know, they got the laurels on their ringers, and that only ends in tears and a little of that.
Yeah, something about that word alimony. I did start, when I came up with the idea for this song, I did just start singing that. I woke up kind of out of a deep sleep singing alimony, 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 alimony. All right. Anyways, here's the gospel version. Oh, see, this is a party right here.
She also took a little of that. Hey, alimony. Hey, alimony.
This is toe tap right here, boy. Toe tap.
Money made the world
Yeah, money can't buy. Money can't. There's so much that money can buy. They say, you know, like when the Beatles wrote "Money Can't Buy You Love," that was like pre-Kardashian. Like since Kardashians came around, that's money can buy you love. Like unconditional love. I know people are like, can it though? Because a lot of those relationships seem to end in alimony. There's some alimony involved in a lot of those Kardashian relationships. I'm like, well, yeah, that's true. Maybe I got to rethink about that money buying love thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, look here. Here's what I am. Quick to admit when I might not be right. It's rare. Oh, what do I got? An old-timey pencil. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're like, oh, Schneider's got himself an old-timey number 2 pencil. Why? I mean, how often do you need an old-timey number 2 pencil in the world? Probably more than you think. The problem with the old-timey number 2 pencil, I ain't got nothing to write on. Because paper, I stopped using paper like around this time. I stopped buying CDs. Like I used to buy a lot of paper and I used to buy a lot of CDs, and I don't buy either of them anymore. I mean, back in the day, I would write all my lyrics and stuff in books and notebooks and stuff, just and then I've got all those in notebooks, and it looks really cool because everything's all like crossed out, and you can see like, you know, like how many bad ideas I came up with before I came up with a good idea. It's interesting. Nowadays, all that stuff happens on the computer, and you don't see it. You just see those polished off, finished lyrics. By the way, there's a certain tier on Song Club, and if you're in it, you get all my lyrics. But they're, you know, again, they're in computer form. Not as cool as if they were like hand-drawn. Maybe I'll start hand-drawing shit. But man, what a burden. Then I'd have to carry around paper. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe you're starting to talk me into it, Patreon people. You're starting to talk me into it in my head. Speaking of songwriting, I wrote a song this month called Songwriting 101. And it basically just goes through all the different styles of music and how hard it is to do it. And it's mostly easy. Mostly it's real easy to write a song. A lot of people are like, how do you do it? How do you just month after month, year after year, write the best songs that I've ever heard? And I'm like, I don't understand. It's a very mysterious process, but I don't know. It happens, you know. It happens. And yeah. Anyways, man, my computer screen is flickering like real bad. So I'm just gonna move this over here, and I should just turn this screen off, because that's about to give me what... Luckily, I don't have that thing where you go into convulsions, you know? Anyways, there we go. No, it's not flickering, which is nice. Nice. I think I was using too much processing power. By the way, nothing says quality podcast like... the podcaster talking about technical problems that are going on during the show. The good thing is I'll be able to edit all this out before it gets to you guys. All right, let's listen to this song called Songwriting 101 and see if we like it. Now, is this one also kind of reggae? You know it is. I like to ask the easy questions so you guys can get all A's on your tests. All right, let's check it out. It's called Songwriting 101. Oh, shit. We back on the beach. We back on the beach. Beach.
You're writing this sad song's an easy thing to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just pour out your heart.
All right.
And paint yourself blue and make everyone feel sorry for you.
Pretty good lyrics.
Yeah, that's all you do.
Pretty good first verse. I'm going to give that one an A+.
Yeah.
Also, the horns, A+. Is that your boy on the horns?
writing a song that rocks.
What?
No problem at all.
Okay.
It's pretty easy. Especially if you're small,
What?
small. And as skinny as your hair is tall. It ain't hard at all.
I'm gonna give that verse about a solid B. Solid B.
But writing a good song, something else. Yeah, well, they can even make an ice cold heart melt. And feel something that hardly ever felt. That's something else. Yeah.
Is that the chorus? Is that the chorus? What the fuck? Yeah. Solid as a rock.
Writing a hit song.
Oh, hit song.
It's hard as fuck.
Uh-oh, cussing.
I mean, first of all, you need a whole lot of luck. Yeah. You get a good idea and then get stuck. Dot. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The phrase that week, that was a couple weeks ago. The phrase that week was ... which I sent out. Like, I make up these phrases and send them out, and I was like, oh, that'll be a cool phrase. ... Guess what? ... is real hard to write a song with ... in it. Now, did I do it? Yeah. I mean, am I your songwriting boy? You know I am. So, yeah, I did it, but man, it was hard. Sometimes I get clever, like clever song phrase ideas are hard. And that one was not easy. So I was at the Saxon pub, and one of my regulars down there was like, hey, will you talk about Tokyo? Or will you put Tokyo on your song club? And I was like, yeah. And I'll try to find a demo, but I looked and I could not find a demo. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as I get done recording this podcast, I am going to make a demo for Tokyo. Now, did I write Tokyo 20-some years ago? Yeah, I probably wrote it 24 years ago. And I'll tell you about how I wrote it. So, I used to have a 71 VW Bug that my sister gave me. She owned it. She bought it. And she was living in Austin at the time. She was working at Hole in the Wall. And she worked here for, I think, a year or two right after school. She went to Texas State. And then when she left town, she bequeathed me this beautiful, bright yellow 71 Volkswagen Bug. Now, did it have air conditioning? No, it did not. Is Austin hot? Yeah, it's hot. Were the seats fucked up? Yeah. Did I put some cow print, like furry cow print seat covers on it? Yeah. Did I hang some furry dice from the mirror? Yeah. Did I have some kind of stereo system that I put in it? Oh, you know I did. Did it have a gas gauge? It did. Did the gas gauge work? The answer is no. Did I have any money at the time? Very, very little. And when I say little, I'm talking about like maybe I had like, I mean, for sure I never had more than $100 like in my bank account. Barely was able to make rent. Usually couldn't make rent. Had to do rent late. Sometimes my sister would lend me $50 so I could make the rent. I think my rent at the time was like $120 a month. It wasn't a lot. But I would drive this thing and I wouldn't have any money, so I could only put like $1 or $2 worth of gas. Now, at the time, I think gas might have been like $1-ish, maybe a little less than $1. So I could put like, for $2, I could put like 2 or 3 gallons of gas in this car. And I would drive it for a while and hope that I wouldn't run out of gas. But invariably, so many times I ran out of gas because I was always just like, barely getting by. This was early on, early 90s, pre-Scabs, probably around the time I was in a band called Joe Rockhead. Probably, I don't know, maybe even before Joe Rockhead. Anyways, I would be, so I'm driving around this, smoking cigarettes nonstop, ashtray full of cigarette butts, windows open, running out of gas. And then when you run out of gas in Austin, you just I had a gas can in the hood of the car where the trunk is. And I'd have to get out and walk to the gas station and hopefully, if I had money, walk to the gas station and get gas. So that was sort of the situation I was in back then. Very broke. Always. I don't even think the place I lived maybe at the time had air conditioning either. So I was like kind of uncomfortable a lot of the time, mainly from the heat, but also just from, not having any security really at all in my life. But I was doing what I love, which is playing music and doing that as a career. So that part was great. I was also drinking back then, back in the day when I was drinking a lot. So I was always like hungover during the day. Anyways, I do remember for whatever reason, I was at this bus stop that was just a few blocks from my house. Now, why I was at the bus stop, I do not know. Did I run out of gas? Maybe. Was I sitting there waiting for a bus? Maybe. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I was at this bus stop. I had this little tiny notebook that I would carry around in my back pocket with a little pencil. And I sat there and I wrote out the lyrics for Tokyo, which was, Tokyo is not far enough away to where I want to be today, because I was just in such a horrible place. And ended up writing that song. And of course that went on my first record, Lonely Land. And like I said, I don't know. I'll look. I looked earlier. I couldn't find a demo of it. Back in those days, I would just write the song, memorize it, play it over and over on the guitar, and I wouldn't record anything. So there was a few songs like that, early songs that I wrote that didn't really have true demos. But I'm gonna look for it. If I don't have one, I'll just do a little acoustic version, and then you'll get that in your little Dropbox. Normally I would play it right now, but like I said, I couldn't find it. So, but when you get your Patreon post, you'll have a nice little acoustic version of Tokyo to add to your collection of Bob Schneider songs, which will be really nice. All right, so I did my obligation to talk about Tokyo. Let's move on to another new song. This one's called Hey, Hey, Hey. You okay? Hey, hey, hey. You okay? There's a lot of songs this month, like We've Always Got Never, Alimony. Hey, 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 you okay? You might be asking yourself, was it a tumultuous month for my boy B. Schnitty? Maybe. It might have been. There was definitely some moments where I was not feeling great about things. And, that's the cool thing about writing music is that you can write about it. And now, this Hey, 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 You Okay song, it's not about me. It might be about somebody I know. Because I know a lot of artists, and a lot of artists are, they're sensitive people. They're very, the world affects them differently. They're like dandelions, some of them. So a dandelion, you hear that name and you go, oh, that's a ferocious lion. No. Very sensitive flower. So yeah, offhand, I'm not sure who this was that I was talking about. It might have even been me. I don't know. Let's listen to it. Maybe it'll come to me and I can talk about it afterwards. So this is another new one for the Song Club. It's called Hey, Hey, Hey. You okay? All right, already we're lounging. Right away we're lounging.
Hey, 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 you okay?
quality right there, boy. Oh, those horns. A plus. Oh shit. Life's good. When you hear flutes. Nice. Woo. Come on.
I grabbed the sun with my hands, and now I'm just a rubber band, and I'm swinging off the side of the road. Paul Simon sounds so intellectual, and all my shit so ineffectual. It's 'cause I never ever do what I'm told. I wish I could sound more smart, instead I'm just falling apart. I'm breaking and broken in two. I'm open, I'm over the moon, but you fucked up real bad when you said you didn't care if I was alive or dead. That's not cool, you should have said something like, hey, maybe you'll be alright, or something like, hey, hey, hey.
Oh yeah, I guess I was talking about maybe I was talking about myself. I think I was having a bad day or something. But, again, that's a wonderful thing. Everybody has bad days. I get to write about it, which is nice. And it's cathartic. And if you're having a bad day, it's important that you are able to somehow talk about it. If you write a song, if you write songs, or if you do something else, you can do that. But if you don't have any of those outlets, I can't recommend therapy highly enough. It's always good to have somebody that you can talk to, and and talk about stuff, because life can be hard. And I do feel like, I don't know if it's the pandemic, probably the pandemic, or maybe it's just the so much social media that you get that's just telling you why you should be angry or afraid. But I think a lot of people, I know I've had a lot of anxiety over the last few years. Now I don't look at any social media. I don't look at any news. I get all my news by talking to people. I find out about Jimmy Buffett dying and things like that, or just whatever is going on in the world. People will mention it, and I'm like, oh, tell me more about it, because I don't like getting my news from news sources, because a lot of it really does. They're just trying to get you to click on the things, and so they make it sound scarier than it is. Or even if it is scary, it's stuff I can't do anything about. So I don't need to worry about things that I really have no control over. I know like people like to be informed and stuff, and I get that too. And I feel like I'm informed by talking to people. But going back to my original thing, if you got anxiety, or if you've got if you're having a hard time, please. Therapy's great. It's great for that, and I can't recommend it highly enough. I've done therapy for 25 years, 26 years. Private, individual therapy, group therapy. I've done a lot of recovery work, because I'm sober for a long time now. It all is helpful, and it all gives me peace of mind and stuff. But I also, again, have this great outlet where I can get out some of this stuff with music, which is wonderful. All right, I got one more song, and it's going to take us out of here. It's going to be like the shortest song club of all time. Like I think we're going to clock in under an hour, just barely under an hour. But I like that. Brevity is the whatever. Brevity is the whatever. I do want to thank you guys for joining me here in the Song Club. It's always fun. We'll see, I'll be back next month with more new songs that haven't been written. All the songs that you've heard on this show a month ago when I was doing the Song Club, none of these songs were written, with the exception of Tokyo, of course. And so it'll be interesting to see which songs get written this month that will be able to be on next month's show. It's always exciting and always interesting. And I have no idea where any of this comes from. It does come from the subconscious part of my brain, but that's a very mysterious part. It feels like AI. I don't know if you've fucked around with AI or not, but you type in a command and all this stuff comes out, either art or words, and that's kind of what songwriting is. You have an idea for something, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this stuff pops up into your mind, comes out of your subconscious into your conscious mind, and you write it down. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. I like that. So, yeah. So we're AI, I guess, now, is what I've concluded after a lot of, or no actual real forethought or anything. Anyways, it's been fun hanging out with you guys. We'll go out with this song called It Goes Like This. Is this a long song? Let's see how long this song is. It's only 20 minutes long. No, wait. It's 13. I had the wrong song. It's only 13 minutes and 24 seconds long. It's not that long. It's only 13 minutes long. So yeah, let's listen to not that much of it. Maybe a minute or two. But we'll go out, and I'll see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful month of September 2023. We'll see you next month. Take care. Always a pleasure. And again, if you're not a member of the Song Club and you've somehow come across this, go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bob Schneider. Join the Song Club today, and you'll get all these songs and more. Ciao. Oh, shit. Boy, we in the club. We in the club, son. We in the club, son. I wonder if any of these harmonicas will work. I have no idea what key this is. Probably not any of those. Let's see, this one maybe? Maybe over here. No, that's not right. That ain't right. Yeah, none of these work. So much for blowing a damn harmonica solo. Need a little melodica. Did you hear that one about the California judge that was arrested in the fatal shooting of his wife? Did you hear about the roller coaster riders that were rescued from the 205-foot drop amid mechanical issues? Did you hear that Max is bleeding subscribers after they did that boneheaded rebranding? I mean, they lost like 1.8 million subscribers? Stuck between the Walt Disney World monorail doors, and now she's suing for her injuries. She said that the cast members didn't do anything to help her in any way. Did you hear about Ryan Gosling playing Barack Obama in the upcoming Barack Obama movie? That can't be correct. Did you hear how Meghan Markle celebrated her 42nd birthday without Prince Harry? Oh my God. Did you hear about Johnny Manziel's details? Did you hear about the heart-wrenching